So today we're going to do a little bit of a different video for you guys, take you through more of a technique-based, muscle group specific session. So today we're going to start with chest, cues, what we're thinking about, how to set it up, probably a lighter set, and then we're going to take you through a heavy set. Because the last thing what I fucking hate is those easy technique videos where people are moving no weight and you guys don't actually get to see what a hard set looks like. So we're just going to start off with the pec deck. So setting this machine up is really straightforward. The height of the seat is influenced on how long the torso is, and what we want to do is have the arms relatively in the same kind of position as the shoulders. So we've got the wrist, elbow, and the shoulder all in alignment. So if we're going to do a light set just to kind of warm up, I'm going to grab the handles. Do you prefer it like that?
Yeah, that's fair.
That's fair. Not taking ourselves too far back, that we're kind of taking ourselves out of position, and then bringing the elbows kind of across the body whilst keeping the chest up. So things that you're going to see here as it gets harder is like the shoulders are going to start to pop up if it gets too hard, or we're going to start caving through the chest. So easy cues that we like to think about is keeping the shoulder blades down and keeping that sternum up, and then just trying to take the arm across the body. You think about those three things, you're going to do your pec deck flies really well here.
I'm hovering on the seat. It just needs to be like
one locked
high.
in. Yeah. Trying to keep this like as relatively level as possible, so horizontal, because what we're going to try and do is come across the body like that. Just want to make sure we're getting a really good squeeze here. I just probably need to pop this down just the tiniest bit. Geez, this seat's a bit wobbly. All I'm really trying to do here is just search for the stretch that feels like the end range. Like that's it for me. So I know I can go back further, but there's just no point.
Do you think there's much value in leg drive on this one?
Yeah, absolutely. So just being stable in the floor, like most strength and stability comes from the ground. So we don't, like if we can avoid having our legs in the air, then absolutely, like we're going to be more stronger. We're going to have a good grounded stability, which is going to come up through the physique, right, or through the body. So I'm more stable if I can push through the ground. If you, for whatever reason, can't be grounded, just put like a step there or some place just to elevate, just so you've got that grounded pressure. So I'll pop the seat down. So you might want to pop it up. I think you need to go up like just a little bit above that though.
I think a big one for this one is when it gets hard, people curl in.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
and then you start bicep curling through instead of initiating through your pec.
Yeah, we're trying to shorten the distance, right? So, and trying to bring another muscle group in. Nice.
That is enough.
Good, beautiful. Now we're over at the cable machine. I'm going to do some cable fire. So, and it can adjust our position, and it actually can put more or less emphasis on certain areas of the pec. So if we want more of like an upper pec bias, then having the arms lower and taking them up will emphasize that. If we want to place tension more evenly distributed across the middle of the chest, putting the handles out wide and then taking them across the body is what we want. And then if we obviously want to emphasize the lower portion of the pec, then taking the handles upwards, leaning down like that. So we're going to demonstrate all three of those. So we'll start with this like low to up variation. So we're standing out here just to get a bit of a stretch in this position, chest staying up, and then we're going to go up and across the body just like so. Come out wide, up.
Is there much thought and consideration around like your arm path as you're doing that?
So I'm trying to emulate like if I was to do this one arm, like coming across the body. So there's going to be like a little bit of abduction as well. Like it's coming up and across like that. So we don't want it to be straight. Like we want it to come across because the fibers of the chest kind of come through and converge. So it's a crossward movement. It's going to be
similar movement to how you would with a pec deck, right?
Yeah.
So a bit of a curvature.
Absolutely. So it's not this forward motion, right? Because that's going to put a little too much emphasis on the front delt. Yes, it's going to work the front delt no matter what, but we can get more chest just coming across a little bit more, like so. That's it. So start from that position there and then fall out, yet there, and then straight up and across again. Good. So even visually you can see when we get to the top here, like the chest, like those upper fibers of the chest are contracting. It's like sometimes visuals are a good cue as well, just to see like what you're working. Like if you can see the muscle contracting, it's like, it's a pretty good idea that it's working in the set. That's good. Obviously, like I'm not sure if I would program that a lot for like my female
Female
clients.
clients.
I don't know many female clients who are just like, yeah, I want this like upper shelf in my chest, but we've got the options there, guys. It just depends on what kind of physique you're trying to build. But like a lot of the boys that I work with, like, you know, the chest volume is definitely something they want. That upper shelf is desired. So this stuff, your incline press, machine press, you know, those types of things are gonna kind of add a little bit more volume to your upper pecs. So now we're gonna go to something a little bit more horizontal. So remember here, like, I would set this just a little bit below your shoulder, because when you come out, you're gonna try and get stability through the ground, and you're gonna lower your body to do that. So if you set it up too high, like you're just like make the liner pull just a bit above the chest, when we're about to do that with that costal variation. So, okay. So you're gonna walk this out. I kind of like to walk out in the starting position like this. So this is where I wanna be. See how the cable, got the wrist, the elbow, runs relatively through to the cable itself, and it's in line with the chest. So from here, it's like this is all loading the pec. Then up and across the body, and again, do what we did over at the pec deck there. Come across the body like that, big stretch, push forward. Big stretch, pushed.
For someone who's feeling it too much in their bicep during this exercise, how would you cue them?
To be honest, like, I feel like when some people feel it in their biceps, like they're just not really paying attention to their chest. Like you're still gonna feel it a little bit in your biceps. Like it's a little bit of like flexion of the elbow, like it's isometrically kind of supporting the chest in the exercise. But I think if like you keep your chest up and you keep yourself planted and you think about kind of lift, like spreading outwards, like that's lengthening the chest under load and then coming through. I think that over time will kind of supersede that sensation that they feel in their biceps. Cause like I feel a little bit in my biceps now. I just don't pay attention to that. I pay attention to my chest. So sometimes it's like a little bit unavoidable.
Could it be that they're flexing their elbows too much as they come back?
Potentially, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. But like a little bit of flexion's okay. Like some exercises like that, the pec deck is like, you know, it's like literally like, what's that, like horizontal abduction, like just like coming out as wide as possible. Here, this isn't as wide. It's gonna be a little bit more bend, but the thing is with that is like, I can lift more weight, right? And I can maybe get my chest a little bit more stretched, because I can get my arm behind me. So it's not a bad thing. And that's where last week we spoke about selecting the exercises and like the pros and the cons. This isn't better than a pec deck, it's different. So do this one program, do your pec deck in your other, or do this one in your A press session, the other one in your B press session. You're taking advantage of all the benefits they give you, right?
I guess ultimately the bicep's not moving it anyway.
Yeah, that's it. They're just isometrically supporting the weight, so it should be fine. Yeah. But so a really good cue I like to use here is just trying to get, like keep your chest up, but trying to push your biceps like into your pecs. And trying to push your bicep into your chest like that. You'll get this really good squeeze, good lockout position. It's really good.
Even for my female clients, I still want to give them some chest exercises just for overall health of your shoulder,
Absolutely.
just to complete the physique a little bit, but maybe the volume just isn't as great as what it would be, say, for the shoulders and glutes.
Yeah, because I know chest work typically for most females with that like aesthetic pursuit, like they want the cap delts, they want the nice back, they want the legs, and because the chest isn't part of that look, they think like, well, no chest work at all, and it's like, well, if you do a little bit too much shoulder work, a little bit too much back work, like your shoulder needs to press and protract as well. It's just about the volume that will develop the muscle, right? So a little bit's good, but not too much if that's not what you want. So we've taken the height up and we're gonna come down, right? We want this cable to go down this way and out. So what that's gonna do is target or emphasize more of that lower chest. The one thing you wanna watch here is that you don't lean over. So I see this all the time. It's like you lean forward and you're like that. Like that's the same. If I lean over, it's very similar to me pushing forward. So if you wanna set your horizontal fly that way, go for it. But I see a lot of people, they're like, yeah, I'm costal flying, and then they're leaning over and taking the line like through the middle of the chest. So just something to be really, really mindful of. So you wanna stay upright here and push like that and spread out like that. This is my favorite one. Mainly because like I like this one makes me feel like a bodybuilder. Because like they all do it. So every now and then with me, I actually get to feel like a bodybuilder.
Just feel like it,
Yeah,
not actually look like one.
No, never. You got to keep telling yourself that, so you never take your foot off the gas, right? Yeah, it's a nice spread. Same thing, push the biceps into the sides of your body. That's good. Yeah, good pump.
There's that common cue of chest positioning, hey?
Yeah, it's just, if this bit is where it should be, relative to the line or relative to where the line of pull is, like, you will win with your chest work. It's just, if I stay here and it's like there or here or down, it's like, you'll always win with your chest activation. So I can take a step back. So from here, think more about that, doing that, like try and keep your torso up just a tiny bit higher. So stay there, and then I'm trying to push here. Yeah, and then just take your elbows, like kind of like when you're on a dip, you know, if you're on a dip, like you're gonna be like that, yeah, and you're gonna push, yeah. Yeah, that's it, and then, yeah, push forward. Good, so now spread it as you go on the way, yeah, there you go, and then push down. Yeah, that's good.
That bicep to chest cue.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it?
It's really
yeah,
nice.
It's such a good squeeze when you do that. Like just, awesome. So there you go, 3 different variations. Obviously you can do ones in between those, depends on your leverages. Just make sure that the wrist, the elbow are lining up through the cable here, be it this angle, be it that angle, be it down in that angle. It's like wrist, elbow, through the cable into the machine, and you'll absolutely win with your setup.
Females that are scared to train chest because it's made of predominantly fat, and if you train it, you're gonna grow muscle and it turns to muscle.
Well, obviously, like the muscle sits below, you know, the breast tissue, so there's that fear that, yeah, like if it maybe misforms that area, but like, man, the intent that a woman, let alone a male, has to go through to build muscle tissue is just a commitment that most people who are worrying about that aren't prepared to do. It's like the whole, like, I don't want to do weights because I'm going to get bulky. It's like the women that are bulky, that look like they lift weights, they're doing things that no one's prepared to do in the female population. Like, they are literally living and breathing their training, their nutrition, their recovery. So it's a kind of a similar concept. It's like, do a bit of chest because it's good for your shoulder, it's good to stimulate your tissue, and you can lift a little bit of weight, which is fun. And it's like, just watch the volume and how much and what your program's like. I think you'll be fine. Flat dumbbell press. We're going to show you guys the setup, then we'll move to an incline. We're going to come back, get ourselves into a good foot position. You guys can have your feet flat, or you can have your toes or your heels tucked back with your toes pressing into the ground. Want to have your chest up with a little bit of an arch, elbows out. I'm going to push up and across the body like so. Elbows down, chest up. Again, like I'm trying to take my elbows towards each other. Keep my pecs or my chest nice and tall.
Even from that angle, you can see how his forearms nice and stacked, very supported for the actual dumbbell itself through the movement. If I'm trying to push the most amount of weight that I can, your setup is probably the most important part to the actual lift.
Absolutely. So like we want a decent arch here. We just don't want to overdo it. Like it's not like a powerlifting arch where you're going to like alter the rib cage to shorten the range of motion. Like you just want enough arch to support your shoulders, because those shoulders need stability, as it's the main joint that takes most of the movement, most of the load. And then from there, arm path, just taking it below the shoulder, slightly adducted, and then making sure that the dumbbell is stacked under the wrist, under the elbow. And then we're coming up, locking out at the top. If some people want to maximize the tension on their chest, the soft lockout, you know, just to keep the chest working the whole time, that's what you want to do. All right, so incline bench in terms of the height. So essentially, if we're flat, moves like, emphasizes more of like the mid portion of the pec, evenly distributes it. As we go up, just gradually shifts that tension more up. Like you're still going to use like obviously every division of your pec. It's just, there's more of a bias as we go up towards the upper pec and the front delt. So depending on the athlete, depending on their mechanics, depending on what their weaknesses are, what you're trying to build up with their physique, you may have a varied amount of incline, you know, for their position, based on their goals, all right? So we're just gonna pick a general kind of meet in the middle, around 40 degrees, probably a little bit lower. Actually, no, that's good. Yeah, about that, 40 degrees. All right, so things that we wanna try to do is have a little bit of an arch, but not be too arched, because the more I lean back and arch up, I'm kind of just changing where the tension is on the chest itself. So a little bit of an arch, feet in a good position, planted through the ground, up and across the body, elbows coming through, nice stretch. Keeping everything stacked, same scenario. Dumbbell over the wrist, up and across the body. Now, in terms of like arm path for pressing, like you'll see like some people will press with their arms like kind of really out wide. Some people will be a little bit narrower. Essentially, like the more wider you go, the less stability the joint has, just because of the structure of it. So if we're lifting really heavy and we're going, and the goal is loadability, we would probably want to slightly tuck that elbow because it's a little bit more supported, you know, in the joint itself. If you're trying to get like an extreme muscle length with this exercise, maybe the reps are higher, then yeah, you can go out wide, you just won't be able to lift as much. So again, it just depends on like what the intention is of the exercise. Like maybe you have something loadable at the start of your session and then this is like a second or a third exercise, just trying to get like more of a stretch in this position and a lighter load and all that stuff. That's totally fine. Just gotta know the tool for the job.
For me, when I'm trying to create stability, I'm thinking about winding into my lats to help that stability.
Yeah, absolutely, love it. We don't have as much ability to create like stability off the bench because we're like up. So like kind of getting that like screw down in the shoulder to put the lats on is a good cue.
Yeah, and then that way I'm keeping the tension on the chest, not letting it just drop to my chest and hoping that momentum will drive the weight up.
Yeah, talking about the programming for the females, like I find like this is like a happy medium. Like for the ones that like are a bit apprehensive about direct chest training, I'm like, do this, it'll work a little bit of your front delts, and then it'll also work your upper chest, and it's like, you know, can't tick on both boxes for most of the time. These roll out too, you need to make it wider. No,
I'm not that wide. Not as wide as you, sorry.
Not that wide, yeah.
Not yet.
Yeah.
So next exercise for the chest is an awesome variation here. Dips. 2 ways you can execute. If I'm looking to get the most out of my chest, I'm gonna have a bit more of a forward lean in this setup. Coming over so that hands almost align with where my chest and armpit would be. You get a really nice deep stretch and pressing through. Similar to how we've been cueing with the cable flies. If I'm a little bit more upright, biasing a bit more through triceps, you'll still feel both working in, like, whether you're upright or lean forward, you'll feel both chest and triceps. It's just, what are we trying to bias here? Both are working, but from more forward, chest, upright, triceps.
So, same scenario as what Mimi just described. The only thing I like to do to just get a better contraction is like, when I'm at the top, I'm trying to shove these bars towards each other. I'm here, I'm down, and then I'm just, so you can't see it, it's just what I'm thinking about, and I just get a much better squeeze. This exercise, we can get a really good stretch in the chest. Like you look how far back, look at that range of motion you can get, providing you've got the shoulders to do so, like the shoulder mobility. So this would be a good exercise to put like, maybe towards the end of your program, especially if you got the strength to do it. Like, if you don't have the strength to do it, it's really loadable, you can put it at the start. But because it accesses like an extreme muscle length, we can put it towards the end of the session, which is a little bit better just in terms of like how fatigue impacts on the muscle and, you know, whatever, motor unit recruitment, all that kind of shit. But usually the exercises that are more stretch based, we'll stack them towards the end because of it. And then the things that emphasize more that mid portion and shortened ends of the range for the muscle, we'll put them at the start.
For people Because I know that once people start progressing, load, you do them weighted.
Yeah, absolutely. So adding a belt, like, and hanging some weight off, like if you've got a vest, the vest is probably the best thing to do, because like, I don't know, I just don't know how like healthy it is to like hang weight off your back and you got like, you know, overextension of your hips and you've kind of dipped over like that. So if you can get a vest, probably the best way to add load, but any means necessary. I've hooked dumbbells between my legs and shit,
yeah.
all of that. So
Do you experience much like pinching pain at the shoulders or the elbows?
no, absolutely not. So I like to call this like the squat of the upper body, you know, like it's like literally the exercise you can almost lift the most amount of weight, like once you include your body weight and the weight. Like some people can lift probably more, or if not the same amount as they can bench press. If you've got the shoulder mobility and health to do it, it's a really good exercise. So it's not for everybody, it's for some people, but it does a really good job of emphasizing that lower portion of the pec. Someone needs development there. They want the strength, they want the triceps. Really good bang for buck exercise that like just covers so much muscle mass in that pushing motion. So big fan. Make dips great again.
Very interesting, because I typically,
Yeah,
that one.
Yeah.
Would do this first if I was to program it, because it's such a taxing movement.
Yeah, so if you're a trained lifter, you could do this anywhere.
Yeah.
If you're a beginner lifter, maybe someone who's trained for a couple of years, like it doesn't matter where you put it, like you just have to rationalize it. So you can absolutely put it at the start. It's complicated, lots of moving parts, like, you know, definitely. Just when you're an advanced lifter, you have so many more options because you got so much more control. So that's pretty much all the chest exercises that we're gonna do today, guys. The one thing we wanted to make very clear is like, this isn't limited, these aren't the only chest exercises to do. It's just like, now that we've told you the setup, you know where to position your body for that line of pull for the exercise. You can emphasize whatever division of the pec you want, and just make sure you're doing something that takes it across the body, pushing through the body, pushing down from the body, and something coming up. And you're ticking all the boxes for your chest development. So let us know what you think. Give us heaps of questions. There's other things you want us to go over. There's exercises we missed today. I'd love to know them. If this is your first time here, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you're a repeat watcher and you haven't hit that subscribe button, please do. We'll see you next time.